Have you been wondering how much space your chickens need in their chicken coop as well as their chicken run? There are different factors that can factor into how much space you need, including the breed of chicken that you have, the age of the chickens, their sizes, whether you have roosters, whether you have hens that are broody, hens that are raising chicks, lots of different factors. But a basic rule of thumb that I like to keep in the back of my mind when planning out my chicken coop sizes and run sizes is 4 square feet per chicken inside of the coop and 10 square feet per chicken for their outdoor run. However, for me personally, that is like a minimum requirement. I prefer to actually have more space than that for my chickens. Thank you, sweetheart. That's so sweet. I prefer to have more space than that just to avoid any sort of squabbles over space. I just find that chickens are happier if they have more space. So for example, my chicken coop here is a 12 by 12 foot shed. So to calculate your square footage, you want to take your length and times it by your width. So in my case, 12 times 12. So my shed is 144 square feet. So 144 square feet, if you want to know how many chickens you can put in a shed like that, you would divide that 144 square feet by that 4 square foot minimum, or divide it by the square footage amount you want to allot for each chicken, whether you want to do 4 or more than 4 square feet. So with this coop, 144 divided by 4 is 36 chickens. So 36 chickens could fit in that coop based on minimum square foot requirements. I personally think that's a lot. I currently have 13 full-grown chickens living in there, as well as 4 chicks that my 2 broody mamas are raising. So 17 altogether, and they are comfortably living in there. A big factor is roost space, making sure you have enough roost space for all of the chickens to comfortably roost. And so the roost is typically a piece of wood that you've placed in your chicken coop that your chickens can hop up on to be able to sleep at night comfortably off of the ground. So in my coop, I have several different roost options for my chickens. One that's really high up in the hay loft at the top of the shed, one that is going horizontally, as well as 2 floating shelves on the side of the coop a bit lower. And then I have a window perch that the chicks like to sit in, the window perch, as well as an area where the nesting boxes sit. I have one rooster that likes to sleep there with the occasional hen. So they do have different levels of roost, different options, and plenty of roost space. So that can really help to avoid fighting with your chickens. So the rule of thumb with roost space is 1 foot per chicken. So just make sure you meet that minimum requirement so they have enough room to hop up there. If you have the space to give them more than that 1 foot per chicken roost space, even better. Okay, so we got the coop covered. Now let's talk about space outside of the coop. It is really important for chickens to be able to leave the coop and come outside. So making a safe outdoor run area is important. There's going to be times in inclement weather that they're going to stay in the coops. That's another reason to have a big enough coop for them all to fit into. But during the day, when they're out in their run, make sure that they have enough space for them to get the exercise that they need and stretch their wings and move about. This original shed, I had over here a 40 foot by 17 foot wide run for my chickens. And that worked well, especially since I was allowing them to free range when I was home with them during the day. That gave them even more space with free ranging. However, with the increase of highly pathogenic avian influenza, I did restrict them from free ranging, and I found that that 40 foot by 17 foot area was not satisfying my chickens as they were used to free ranging. So I did put on this expansion here. So I did add on this expansion, making the full run area to be the 40 feet in length and then 50 feet wide. And they seem to be quite content with having this extra area here. But let's talk about the rule of thumb for how many square feet for the outdoor coop. So for the outdoor coop, you're looking at 10 square feet per chicken for a minimum. So with 17 chickens, I would want a minimum of 170 square feet, because 17 times 10 is 170. This run that I currently have, 40 feet by 50 feet, is actually 2,000 square feet. So technically at 10 square feet per bird, I could have 200 birds out here, but that is a lot. I would rather have less birds and plenty of space to give them, especially since my birds have been used to free ranging. They're used to having tons of space. So the more space you can give them, you'll have happier chickens for it. However, if you are limited on space, make sure you're at least meeting that minimum 10 square foot per bird requirement for the outside coop. It can also help if you're working with a smaller coop with a smaller run that is just meeting the minimum requirements. So you can increase area for your chickens by adding different levels. So you can use pallets to give them areas to perch on. You can use wood electrical cable spools for them to jump up on there and hang out. You could give them chairs, you can give them playground equipment, you can make seesaws for them, make different structures for them to climb, pallet fences at an angle for them to hop up. Just different enrichment ideas and different surface levels that can help with boredom. And so they're able to enjoy their run and are less likely to be bored and fixating on each other. You could also put in branches, put in tree stumps, different things for them to explore and climb on and check out as well. Now there is such a thing called chicken math. So it just seems to be the case that a lot of people get chickens and then they want more chickens, because who could blame you? I mean, chickens are fantastic. I started with 8 and look at me now. Now I have 17 in this area, and then I incubate hatching eggs and raise baby chicks out in the chick coop and sell those chicks to customers. So what I'm getting at is when you're making your coop plans or planning to purchase a coop, just keep in mind that yes, maybe you're going to start with 8 chickens, but if you fall in love with chickens, there's a very good chance that you will add more chickens to your flock. So keep that in mind when planning the square footage. And if you can, go bigger just to plan for not only happier chickens, but the potential for more chickens to come. If you like this video, we have another chicken video called Is Grit Really Needed for Chickens? So you should definitely check that out. And if you haven't started your farm yet, what are you waiting for? Get your farm on.
Like and subscribe. And just know, I love bugs.
Good job.
Thanks. Just want to tell them I like bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love you.
Like you.
1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want a farm? A wicked awesome farm? Watch this channel to learn what to do. We love to farm and we'll show you. Yeah.